You know, I didn't want to make today's video because it's so controversial, and really it needs to get out though. The takeaway. There's two ways to take the club back. You hear about taking the club straight back, and then you also hear about never taking the club inside. And there's this huge stigma about never swinging the club in. But my golf swing was inconsistent for the longest time. I played the worst golf of my life swinging the club straight back. And it was only until I went into no man's land swinging the club in that everything started clicking for me. I started hitting the ball farther. I hit my first 300-yard drive. I was playing in the 70s, breaking a lot of scoring barriers, having fun. And you know, it really made me think, do a lot of golfers know about this? Or is everybody just conditioned to swing the club straight back? So we're gonna look at why straight back might not be a good option for you, and why swinging the club in could be the best decision you ever make this off season to get into playing great golf. So let's just first look at straight back. This idea that you swing the club more in a straight line like this. The hands are in, the club head is out in front of you. The theory behind this is that you swing the club on that line, it gets the club higher in the backswing, and then you automatically will shallow the club on the downswing. So that would lead to a more consistent strike. And I bought that hook, line, and sinker for the longest time because it made sense to me. I was like, okay, yeah, if my target's there and I swing straight back and straight through, my ball's gonna go to my target, so I'm gonna do that. That's a nice straight shot. Now, one thing that shot lacked was power, zip. Nice and straight, nice and clean, but no zip. And it wasn't until I changed from that to more of this style takeaway, come on ball, that it got much more powerful. That had zip. Now, it's not 2 times the distance, but it's much farther than that first ball. And it was a lot easier on my body too. So the straight back takeaway, doing this move, if you were to focus on swinging straight back into eternity, this would lead to high arms at the top. And then you've got to think about a few other things. You got to drop the club in the slot, then you've got to hit the ball. So from a swing perspective, it's really tough to coordinate that and be consistent. You've got to practice all day long. 2, another problem with the straight back takeaway that you should consider is that your shoulders, one of the key functions is to turn your shoulders in the golf swing so your body can turn and create power. Well, if I swing straight back, the arms get off the body. They start lifting off the body, and then my body stops rotating because as I lift my arms, the shoulders can't turn. So I have to find ways to turn, maybe make up a way or force them to turn. But you know what happens when you force things? They get inconsistent because now you're just trying to control all these motions. And I'd rather have an automatic swing, one that works without me thinking about it so much. One swing thought instead of 10,000. So swinging back not only disconnects the arms from the body, stops you from getting power, but high arms, it's easier to swing across, over and across, so over the top, unless you were to drop the club in the slot enough. And maybe that's why we're seeing so many golfers today, and I don't really see any golfers swing straight back. It's this giant myth that we've sort of perpetuated for years. Swing the club straight back, swing the club straight back. You really can't do that in the golf swing because you're tilted over. The only real straight back takeaway will happen if I am like Michelle Wee putting. My arms hang straight down, right there. That's a true straight back, that's a straight line. But because I'm tilted at an angle to the ground, there's a natural inclined circle like this. So we're swinging the club on that circle. And if we want to access power in golf, we've got to swing the club on a circle. And if you want to access this beautiful shoulder turn, you've got to learn to swing the club in on a circle. And that was the eye-opener for me, because when I started switching to more this instead of this, I mean, we're talking the club head is moving a foot this way. That's not a whole lot, but the difference is huge with how you strike the ball. The club head behind the hands in the first few feet. I'm not the only person doing this. You know, look at Rory McIlroy. He's pretty good at golf. Matt Fitzpatrick, he's pretty good at golf. Just cue up a tour player. You're not going to see any of them with the club head way out. Maybe JT, but everybody's going in the direction of this because it allows you to use the body better in the swing. It creates effortless power, and it's going to get the club in the slot. Check this out. So as I swing the club in, my arms stay connected to the body. Just 3 feet of the swing. The first 3 feet, arms stay connected. Boom, the shoulders now have a reason to keep engaging the body. So my shoulders are allowed to turn, which turns the hips, and the arms are connected to the shoulders. Everything is working in harmony. And then 2, downswing. How many of you are tired of dealing with the over the top, dealing with chopping, dealing with trying to set the club? Forget doing that, because if you swing it in, hands in, takeaway in, you've got the club in the slot already, so just swing back to the ball. Miracle. Magic. It feels like magic, it's not. It's just a different takeaway. You know, the last thing that's really important, power, consistency, you keep the club face a lot more square. So when I swing this club straight back, a lot of times they'll tell you to go toe up, lift the club, do this, and then roll your hands. I said do this, I kind of forgot, but I remember learning these things a long time ago. When I swing the club in, I just keep the club face square, swing it around my body with the shoulders. If I don't do anything with the hands, the club face is going to stay square. So it's square at the top, keep swinging the shoulders back to the ball, it's square at impact, boom, it's square on the way through. So you're looking at a very consistent strike, you're looking at a very powerful strike, and it's not a whole lot of moving parts, it's engaging the body. So your swing is able to repeat instead of doing a lot of all these variables. So the best ball strikers, you're gonna see hands in. The hands themselves will travel upward and inward on a line. They'll never travel straight back and up. That's really impossible. So impossible to do straight back. Just get that in your head right now. Straight back is more of a feeling than it is an actual thing, because I don't see anybody teaching this. And they wouldn't do that because that's not a golf swing. That's not a golf swing. So we actually swing the club in around the body, tilted angle to the ground. Now, how do we access this takeaway? Well, I talk about it in my SagutoGolf online golf school, how to get off to the correct start in the backswing. And I've got some great drills at go.saguto.golf to help you do that. You just got to focus on, instead of trying to go off the path that your body sets at address, meaning instead of trying to force the club onto a straight back path, just swing the shoulders. Look at this, I'm connected. My upper arm is connected to my body, my elbows are together. This creates a unit. And if I just swing this unit back, boom, takeaway done. I didn't say roll the hands. That's the wrong kind of takeaway. And I certainly didn't say go over here. That's too far in. That's me forcing the club the opposite direction. You got to be careful with how you do the first part of the swing, how you interpret the first part of the swing, because it sets up the whole rest of the golf swing. So we're going to keep on moving here. There's a whole lot more. This is not just takeaway. This is this full swing thing. Straight back, high arms. Too low and in, really low arms that you really can't hit the ball from here. But if I just swing the shoulders and I have freedom to turn the shoulders around the body, meaning the shoulders don't stop, they're not getting stuck like here, and they're not pulling off the body where they stop working in a straight back. If I just turn the shoulders, boom. The takeaway is going to be here. So the club head's slightly behind the hands, and the club travels up the proper path. The lead arm on the shoulder line. And you see so many pros doing this now. Even still legends were doing this. Hogan, Snead, basically every legend, Bobby Jones. It's not new stuff. Even Bobby Jones took the club in. Stuff is powerful. And if they knew it worked, and they did that, it's gonna work for you. They were doing that because it made them consistent. So I'm just gonna swing my shoulders. Instead of thinking about straight back, just swing the shoulders. Boom, launched it. You might say, wow, that's too much of an inside takeaway, Tom. That's where you got to change the mindset. It took me a while to really grasp that concept of being okay with that. Being okay with an inside takeaway. It's not really an inside takeaway, it's just the proper takeaway. Change it to that. We're swinging the club inward, but it's because we're designed to. It's just the way this is set up. It's how this swing circle moves around the body. It's the arc of the club. So if I just swung, yeah, my hands have to go in. Not thinking about my swing a whole lot. Pretty powerful strike, sounds great, makes me want to play more golf. Versus trying to coordinate 7 moving pieces, 1,000 moving pieces. So what do you think about the takeaway? I got some pros here I'm going to show you. Just check out these positions. All of these club heads are inside the target line. Their hands are in, and in many of the cases, the club head is more behind the hands. So if that's where you need to be, then why are you focusing on going straight back? What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. And if you start taking that club in, I've got some great videos on the channel about this. Let me know how it goes for you. For me, it was transformational. Changed the entire ball game. Just going in enabled my entire swing to work easily, effortlessly, and powerfully. So thanks for watching today, and I'll see y'all in a future episode.
And you might be wondering why it says straight back-ish on my left video over there. It's because when I got back from filming, I looked at the video and I realized, wow, that's not straight back enough. My straight back actually looks okay. So I have to show you what a real straight back looks like. I got Kenny Perry here on the left. I've got Corey Pavin on the right. This is more of that straight back 80s style takeaway that a lot of golfers are familiar with. It's when the club doesn't travel perfectly up the shaft plane line. It actually travels a little bit more outside. And what I noticed with these golfers is that even though they're more straight back, they still have the club traveling more in. So we're seeing this theme. I'm really referring to the club head being outside the hands here. So just look at that, take that note. This is more of that straight back look. Corey Pavin also has some of that straight back look too, with the club head more outside the hands.